All right, my friends, I am going to share with you today. It's going to be a quick one because I just got done doing a video on the question, can I retire? And I had to divide that into two posts because my computer broke up. But I'm going to share with you the quickest, the easiest retirement plan you'll ever possibly can imagine. It's so easy, it's so simple that when you get it, you'll say, why didn't I think of that? Or even worse, how come my hair's out of the way? How come my financial advisor before me didn't tell me about that? So if you like what you see here, see that little subscribe thing, like, pretty good, huh? I got the little pillow up there behind me to remind you to subscribe. All right, so you ready for it? I call it a 4-quadrant retirement plan. So let me get my trusty pen, piece of paper. I'm going to draw 4 quadrants, all right? We're going to say pension, quadrant. And we're going to say debt, quadrant 3, no debt. Here is the simplest retirement plan ever. You got pension, no pension, debt, and no debt. Now, I've run thousands of retirement plans, thousands. All right, so my empirical evidence, remember, empiricals can be observed. All right, is what I've observed. Doesn't mean it'll be guaranteed or anything like that, but my observation was that when I ran the retirement plans in my 20 plus years experience, it all came down to this. And I share this with people all the time. People come to my office, I need to find out blah, 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 blah. And I said, whoa, hold on. Here it is. What we want to do, you ready, is we want to connect our pension with no debt. If we can connect these two things right here, pension and no debt, you're done. I'm just telling you, if you have a pension and you don't have any debt, you're going to be fine. There's just no other way around that. And the reason for that is something that I think is overlooked a lot. It's in your brain capacity, your mental capacity, your ability to value a dollar bill, your ability to stay focused where you stay focused enough that you can have a pension. Your ability not to chase the shiny objects where you end up and you can pay off your debt. And what happens a lot is people change job to job to job. They don't stay there in one place long enough to accumulate the time they need for a pension. And because of that, they're always kind of changing. And they might have actual liquid wealth. That's fine because they might go from job to job and advancing their income, advancing their retirement plan in terms of 401k, but they're not going to have a pension. And so now they're relying too much exclusively actually on the markets to cooperate. And when you're relying on the markets to cooperate, that's not good, as we attest to from 2001 and 2, 1973, 1974, to October 2007 to March of 2009. If we can stay in one place long enough, that's sacrificing the short term for the long term benefit. There's a certain mentality. It's the old school way of doing things. I get it. The old school way of saying, I'm going to take calculated risks, i.e., I'm going to risk just staying in this place. I might not be as happy as I could have otherwise been. I might not be as rich as I otherwise could have been, but I'm going to stay here because I think at the end of the day, this pension is going to pay off when I'm 60 years old, for instance. And that has a certain mentality, a certain mindset that goes with valuing a dollar. And again, not saying if you bounce from job to job to job, I don't have a pension, that you don't value a dollar the same, but I'm just telling you, there's a certain mindset that says, almost like a gardener or a farmer, I'm going to plant a seed, and it's going to take a long time, but 20, 25, 30 years, once that seed has grown and grown and grown, it will start producing fruit, which I can draw on. And so if I can stay there one place for that long to have a pension, I am going to be in a good place. Now, if I also, a lot of times that people stay in these places are also the same people who don't have a debt anymore. So not only do I have a pension, but I don't have a debt. It's a lot of times they go hand in hand. Again, it's just a mindset, it's a mentality that says at the end of the day, I'm going to have no debt either. And this right here is a driver. I'm just telling you, not having debt is a most critical thing you can have in retirement. And I'm probably going to bore you to death on my YouTube channel, but this one right here, if you don't have debt, you're going to be fine. If you don't have debt, you can live off $50,000 a year. At least the people I know. Now, you might be different. You might not be the people I know. I don't know. But the people I know, I grew up with, who are in my family, who I think the vast majority of the United States citizens who are looking at retiring $50,000 a year with no debt is absolutely within their wheelhouse. Now, you combine a pension with no debt. I don't care what your investments are. Literally, we're at the stage now that it doesn't matter. If you combine the pension with no debt, we're done. I mean, now we got to do tax planning. Don't get me wrong, because now you're going to be looking at a whole different concern, which is what taxes. So let me just reiterate. People come to my office. Can I retire? I bust out my pay. And they get all these statements, tons of statements. The first thing I say is, do you have debt? Nope. Mortgage paid off. Do you have a pension? Yeah. I stayed at GE. I stayed at Johnson Controls. I stayed at the CDC, whatever, here in Atlanta, CDC. And I just say, okay, well, if you don't have debt and you have a pension, you can leave. You're done. You're fine. Now, they never want to because we got to get to taxes. I get that, but then we're done. And then we can focus on the important thing. What do you want to do in retirement now? Because we've established the fact you're going to be okay. And they say, how? And I say, because I've done this for so long with so many people. The one thing that rings constant is people who have a pension and no debt are going to be okay. They're not the type that's going to light cigars with $100 bills. They just don't do that. They value a dollar. They value their time and energy to commit to something. That I just cannot tell you how important that is. And again, this isn't saying people who don't have that are bad, but there's a mindset, a mentality that says if you can stay in the military, if you can stay at Johnson Controls, if you can stay at the CDC, for that amount of time, you're sacrificing today to get something in the future. There is a mindset, a mentality that goes in a person like that. And it's a remnant, unfortunately, I hate to say it's a remnant of the World War II generation after going through the Great Depression. Those people said, look, yes, I might be able to swing for the fences. I could become whatever, multi-billionaire Mr. Burns, but I'm pretty comfortable in my middle-class life right here. I'm pretty comfortable in my 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,500 square feet on a quarter acre, and I'm doing some gardening out there. I'm pretty comfortable with that. And so I paid off my debt and I had my pension from whatever. And because of that, I'm pretty, not gonna say frugal. I still go on vacation. I still take a cruise or something like that. But my family, we're just regular people. I'm just telling you, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. And what ticks me off, though, is because they're going to be fine, that's where the government comes up and they'll snake them when it comes to taxes through the Social Security tax, through the premium Medicare tax, the increase in Medicare premiums, through tax on qualified dividends and capital gains. Again, cheap sales pitch for my book, The Tax Bomb in Your Retirement Accounts. It's the middle class that gets hit by that stuff. Absolutely. Because they've been doing everything right. And all of a sudden the husband dies, the wife gets all these assets, and the wife, and it could go other way, but the wife gets hammered because they've been doing everything they're supposed to do. And they get hammered from the tax man. They get hammered from Medicare premiums. They get hammered across the board. Then they leave it to their heirs, and the heirs don't maybe value the same dollar bill as the parents did. Now the heirs blow it. They take it out one big lump sum distribution, and that whole sucker is taxed at 35%. That's just to the state. Never mind what the state of Georgia, or wherever, to California, for heaven forbid, where you are. It's bad. So if you're of that mindset, let's just say you live in Cumming, Georgia. So I'm in Milton, but Cumming, Georgia is right next door, or Canton, Georgia. So it's a relatively mid-level, I wouldn't say affluent necessarily, but moderately successful town. And you got a house, again, 3-bed, 2-bath, on 1,500, 2,000 square foot, a quarter acre. You're spending $1,800 a month in mortgage, maybe $2,000 a month in mortgage. You've been there for 10 or 15 years. And you've been working at the same job. And, every now and again you say, oh man, this stinks. Should I quit? But you're saying, no, but I have that pension. I'm telling you, you're going to be okay if you have the pension. I cannot stress this enough. If you have the pension, but even more importantly, if you have no debt, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. So if you have a pension, no debt, you're looking at 55 years old, 60 years old, you really need to start planning on what you should be doing at that point. If you don't have a pension, and you have debt, on the other hand, if you fall in this quadrant right here, debt and no pension, well, now we have a lot of work to do there, because we can't have a 2001 and 2 hammer. You just can't have that happen. We can't have an October 2007 to March 9th of 2009. You just can't have that happen, because right here, no pension, you're relying on your investments to provide the income you need in order to pay that. This doesn't change. The income goes up and down depending on what the markets do. Can't have that, my friends. This right here needs to be front and center and attacking that. Because if the markets fall off a cliff like we saw twice now in the last 20 years, big time, we're talking major crashes, you're not going to recover from that. And so that's a different planning mechanism. If you have no pension and you have debt, that's a whole different ball of wax than if you have pension and no debt. two completely different retirement plans need to be looked at for sure. Anyway, so remember my quadrant, the 4 quadrants: no pension, pension; no debt, debt. And if you can combine the two, pension and debt, you're in a good place. If you have no pension and no debt, you're in a better place. You're in a good place too. But this is number 1. This is number 2. All right. I guess what's the other one? No pension and debt. This would be number 3, I suppose. Anyway, and it's a debt that we want to get rid of. We want pension, no debt. Okay, I'm doing this backwards. I'm not sure. Anyway, we want to be pension and no debt, or no pension and no debt. Those are the 2 best things right there. But ideally, pension and no debt. But this one right here, we don't want debt. Debt will be your mortal enemy because you're relying on the markets to pay your bills, and the markets they just don't cooperate as when we think they should. All right, so if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe up there. Always, you can get my book. I say this every time, heritagewealthplanning.com. You go to Amazon, it's free on Amazon, heritagewealthplanning.com, or Amazon, type in my name, Josh Scanlon. You can go there, get it for free. It'll be free until Monday. So if you want to get the book for free, go to Amazon.com, it'll be free to Monday. You can get the PDF by going to heritagewealthplanning.com. You'll get a pop-up, and you can just put your name in there, and you'll get the PDF for free as well. See you next time. Thanks, guys.